Today, I'll be talking about one of the most important linguists who have ever lived. His name was Ferdinand de Saussure. He was Swiss, he was from Switzerland, and he lived from 1857 to 1913. Then in 1916, Course in General Linguistics, this book here, was published. So it was published posthumously when he was dead. And it was actually published by two of his students who made this book from their notes. And the starting point of his book is semiotics, which is the study of sign processes. And in this video, we will learn what we mean by a linguistic sign. Okay, so this is the sign, as we can see here. And we have the signifier, which is in this case dog. And the signifier is the sound signal. It's sound, it's an acoustic vibration, dog. And it takes us to the signified, the thing, the concept, what we imagine when we hear the word dog. Okay. So this sign has a binary nature. So that basically means that we have the signifier tree, the sound, and then it's got a connection in our mind with the word or the concept, the idea, the notion of a tree. When you close your eyes, when you hear the word tree, what do you think of? Good. So basically, the signifier is an acoustic signal. Obviously, the acoustic signal is different in different languages. So, for example, when we have tree, that's one acoustic signal, and árbol is a different acoustic signal, but it makes you think of the same concept. Obviously, if you speak English and Spanish. Okay? Now, the thing is about the linguistic sign is that it is arbitrary. So this is called linguistic arbitrariness. What does that mean? If a sign is arbitrary, there's no logical intrinsic relationship between the signifier, these are signifiers, and the signified. For example, we have cat, we have gato, and we have chat. I'm sorry about my French pronunciation, it's awful. But the point still stands that these three acoustic signals, these three different acoustic signals, have no more connection with this concept, this signified, than any other. So, for example, cat or gato is not better than chat, or any of these not better than any other linking to this sound, because the linguistic sign is arbitrary. Okay? Now, the thing is, signs relate to other signs. So these things, this sign relates to other signs in the language. Okay. And therefore, the language in Saussure's idea was a system of signs. Now, this means that they are negatively defined. They're defined by contrast to other signs. That means that they are different from other signs. And because they are different from other signs, that gives them meaning. And when I was at university, never really understood this until my teacher explained this to me. He said, okay, is the chess piece, and why does the chess piece have like a certain meaning? Why is this rook only able to go forwards and backwards and side to side any distance? Yeah? Why is this bishop only able to travel along diagonals, forwards and backwards? Right? And I said, well, because that's the shape that they have, and that shape gives them meaning. He said, okay, the shape of it gives the meaning. I said, okay. Now imagine if we lost one of the pieces. Yeah, let's say we lost this pawn, right? And we can't play chess because we've lost one of the pawns, and we're never going to be able to play chess again. Well, what if we replace the pawn with a lip balm? Okay, not exactly a pawn. He said, would you be able to play chess in that case? And I said, well, I guess so, because the lip balm would be different from all the others, and the fact that it's different from all the others would kind of give it like a certain value. And my teacher said, well, it's the same thing with linguistics. The sign is different from the others. Yeah. And because there is a different connection between tree and let's say three, or for example, cat and dog, those signs connect to each other, and they are defined because they are different from each other. They have a relation, and that relationship is defined by how they are different. Yeah. I think once you understand this chess analogy, that if you lose a piece, you could replace it with any other piece, any other object, so long as that object is different from all the others, then it'd be fine. Now, imagine if you try to replace it not with this lip balm or this inhaler or whatever, and you tried to replace it with another rook, and it looked exactly the same. It was identical. Well, that would be a problem, right? Because you wouldn't know, oh, is this a rook? What can it do? What's its role? What's its function? How does it work? What function does it play within the language? Now, obviously, this system is not perfect because we have homophones, right? If you think about bank and like the place where you go to do some sort of financial transaction, and bank, the river bank, well, they sound exactly the same, but homophones are relatively rare in any language. Okay, so for that reason, homophones don't really pose much of a problem to Saussure's idea of the linguistic sign being negatively defined in contrast to all other linguistic signs. Well, as always, guys, I hope this information has been useful.